today I'm going to make Moroccan couscous. So I'm here on my year out in Morocco and I'm in the countryside. I'm going to make you traditional couscous, so I'm going to try my best. So today I'm cooking Moroccan couscous. We're going to put some onion, one onion, and some meat. You could use chicken, but I've decided to use meat. This is like half a kilo of meat, so you can just keep it in big pieces. And this one is parsley, and there's some olive oil in there. We're gonna cut up the onion really small, and there's a little bit of coriander. So I'm just chopping up the onion. I'm gonna put in a green tomato. I'm gonna cut it up really small. So now I'm going to put in ginger, ground ginger, 2 of these spoons for half kilo of meat. Now we're going to put in pepper, 1 spoon of pepper. It's like probably 1 teaspoon this amount. You see how much it gets for half a kilo of meat. And obviously we're going to put in enough salt as well. Well, maybe like 1 spoon of salt. But then you can add more to taste afterwards. I'm gonna put some turmeric in. This is like that, or you can put real saffron if you have a few bits of that, but it's quite expensive. But if not, you could put turmeric, it's just to give you a little bit of color. And obviously some salt to taste. So now I'm just putting it on this traditional Moroccan gas cooking apparatus to cook it. I'm just gonna wait for it to brown a little bit before we add in water. So probably about 5 minutes. Okay, so I've added about 750 milliliters of water. You see it's just covered the meat. I'm gonna leave it to cook before we add the vegetables in. So, and then we're gonna put this lid on. This is a pressure cooker. This is traditional Moroccan pressure cooker, but if you don't have one of these, you can use a normal one, a normal kind of casserole. So we leave it about 30 minutes to cook. It depends on the meat really, if it's tough meat or if it's soft, but you test it with a knife if it's cooked. So now I'm just gonna cover it with the lid. So while we're waiting for our meat or our chicken to cook, depending on what you're cooking, we're going to make the couscous because it will take a bit of time. So I'm having 4 people for dinner, so I'm going to use half a kilo of couscous. Any type of couscous. The one that I'm using today, because I'm in Morocco, I'm going to be using this one. And then we're going to add some oil to it. Just a small amount, and then stop the grains sticking together. So we just rub it through the couscous. So now I added some water, just a small amount at a time, and you have to stop the couscous from sticking together. You break it up each time, and then you leave it to absorb the water. Leave it to absorb, and then if it absorbed, it'll add a bit more. So now we're gonna cook the couscous in this couscousier. It's got like those small holes like a steamer. If you want to use an electronic one, it could work too. We're gonna leave it there and cooking, steaming until it's cooked. If you need to add a few drops of water on the top, you could do that too. So now I've put it all in there. As you can see, we're gonna leave it to cook. So now I'm cooking in this couscousier the couscous, which is just like a steamer. So we're gonna leave it here. Let's leave it for about 10 minutes. You see the steam starting to come through. But if you find that it's a bit too dry still, you need to add a few drops of water and mix it around on the top of the couscous, but not too much because you don't want to make it soaked through. So now it was cooking here for about 10 minutes and you see it started to cook. But it'll need a little bit more water, so I'm going to take it out of the couscousier and put it on the plate again and add little bits of water. This is like the way that Moroccans do it, but if you want to just cook it here the whole time and add the water without taking out, that's the way that I sometimes do it. It actually does work, but I'm doing it the traditional Moroccan way, so I'm going to have to take it out and then add the water, then put it back in again. So here I'm going to add little small drops of water. And then mix it around. It's very hot. Leave it to absorb the water a bit, then I'm going to put it back to cook again. I'm going to put it back after a few minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to add a bit of salt and then mix it around. Leave it for maybe 5 minutes to absorb that water that I've just added, then we're going to cook it again. So now I've put the couscous back in the couscousier to let it cook again until like it steams for maybe another 10 minutes. So now it's cooked, the meat. Now if you can see, it's cooked, so now I'm adding the vegetables in. I'm adding the courgettes, carrots, what other vegetables. Normally Moroccans, they will use courgettes, carrots, and this pumpkin, and there's also some white cabbage in there, which goes really nicely. But if you don't have white cabbage and you don't have the pumpkin, you just use what you have. But definitely you will need courgettes and carrots, it's essential. And one of these chilies. And you can add a little bit more water to cover. So now I added a bit more water. I've actually probably put too many vegetables, but if we add too much water, it will just take away the flavor from the sauce, so it's better not to. So if you can see how much water is there. And at the end, once it's cooked, we'll leave it maybe for 15 minutes. Now you can add a bit more salt if you find it needs more. So let's see if it's cooked. Yeah, the vegetables are all cooked now. And you can taste it, see if you need to add any salt. No, it's nice, actually, we don't need to add any. So now we're going to put it with the couscous. I'll show it you in a minute on the plate. So, it's ready now. I've served it on this special type of couscous dish. See, I put the couscous underneath, and the meat's in the middle underneath all the vegetables. So let's taste it and see how it is. Okay, so I'm going to taste it to see how it tastes. Nice.